Taking a live look at New Jersey, this is where former President Trump will hold a rally at the New Jersey shore later this evening. And meanwhile, President Biden in Washington state for a campaign fundraising event there with big donors expected to be in attendance. Joining me now to talk more is NewsNation Washington Bureau Chief Mike Viqueria. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. We've got the two events today with Biden and Trump. How much are things heating up as we get closer to the election?
Oh, they're very heating up. And it's not only the election, Anna, that we're getting close to. It's those conventions over the summer. And that really is the starting gun, that sprint to the finish on November 5th of this year, where these two men will stage their rematch in this national election in 2024. But you're right. President Trump now in Wildwood, New Jersey, and he famously said over the course of the last couple of days that he thinks New Jersey is in play. Previously, New Jersey has not gone for a president in a generation, a Republican for president in a generation. There are indications more recently that New Jersey may be trending a little bit more Republican anyway. There was a very close governor's race just a couple of years ago in the last election cycle. So President Trump on the beach, on the sand. We have reporters there covering it later today in Wildwood, New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore. And meanwhile, President Biden, his second day now on the West Coast. And Anna, when a Democratic president goes to California and Seattle, Washington, they're there for one reason: to raise money. Those states, regardless of what New Jersey may be doing on the opposite coast, California, Oregon, and Washington, solidly blue. No indication that there's any chance that those could even come close to being in the Trump column. However, President Biden is there raising money. He was in the San Francisco Bay Area yesterday, now in the Seattle area, raising money for what is going to be a bruising and very expensive campaign. Upwards of $1 billion each campaign is expected to spend, Anna.
Right. Well, you know, Biden, of course, on the West Coast for a big campaign fundraising event. But should he be spending more time rallying the voters? We've heard a lot of people say, look, this is not a case where voters do not know who Donald Trump or Joe Biden are, right? We know who these people are. We just need to get them energized to come out and vote on both sides. So is it more of a case where the voters need to be talked to?
Well, Anna, it's almost a cliche that the election is going to turn on turnout. Turnout matters. It means everything. It all comes down to turnout. Is sort of the verbatim cliche that we use in politics. And to turn people out, you need money. You need a ground game. And that's where the fundraising comes into play. President Biden and his campaign are taking a more traditional approach to that. They're opening field offices in those 7 swing states, in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Arizona, and Georgia. And as a matter of fact, there are indications that there's concern on the Republican side because President Trump isn't necessarily going that traditional route. He's going with small donors. He's working with a lot of outside groups to do their canvassing. Of course, canvassing means going door to door, literally knocking on doors. But regardless, whichever way you do it, there is a lot of money involved. And one thing you can be guaranteed, President Biden may be out there raising money in California and Washington this weekend and over the last couple of days, money that's going to be spent in those states. So raising money is just as important, if not as important, as personal appearances and rallies. If President Biden does appear at a rally, you can guarantee that it's going to be in a swing state. In Michigan, where he's been recently, in Wisconsin, where he was just the other day, in Arizona and in Georgia. That's what you're going to see over the course of the next 6 months as we head into November 5th. Anna.
Every year about this time, I always think, what if we just took all that money that was raised and we just put it straight into the schools and straight into our roadways and straight into the border crisis? What would the world look like if we did that? Thank you so much. NewsNation Washington Bureau Chief Mike Viqueria. Appreciate your time on the weekend.
Okay, Anna, thank you very much. All right.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.